This is the PIXINSIGHT tutorial for the processes channel extraction and channel combination. You find these two processes in Process, Channel Management, and here they are. So these processes are for once really easy, straightforward to use, and that's also why actually I combined them in one video, because they're also kind of twin brothers. One process is to rip the pictures apart, and the other is to put them together again. And how do we rip them apart? Based on the color space. Now when we start with the channel extraction. So we have 6 different color spaces which you can select, and on that basis the picture will be actually separated. Personally, I only know the use case for RGB, and that's also what we will deal with in this tutorial. If any of you uses any other color space and has specific use cases for that, please leave it in the comments below. I would be really interested to hear about that. So we have here a color picture. It's not stretched yet, it's linear. So I will stretch it now. Now your question might be, why do I even want to separate the color channels of this picture? Now there are multiple reasons for that. For example, I might want to work with each color channel separately and try to optimize it. But the main reason for me is that I do that when I use dual narrowband filters. And I will demonstrate you now what the advantage is. So I keep here the RGB, I keep the red, green and blue channel selected, and also the sample format, just keep it as same as source. So in principle, keep everything exactly like it is. It's really that easy. Just throw the triangle on it and it does the job. So what it gives you back are 3 grayscale pictures. One for blue, one for green, one for red. If you stretch them now so that you can see them, you see here blue channel, the green channel, and the red channel. And I think it's quite easy to see that the red, the hydrogen, is actually much more prominent than, for example, here, the blue, which is mostly oxygen. And that's exactly the point here, because I used a dual narrowband filter, here the Antlia ALPT. I know exactly what the red is. This is the hydrogen, and actually I can label this now. I can say it's just HA. So I have now my HA, like if I would have shot with a dedicated HA narrowband filter. Now that said, the rest, the blue and the green together give the O3. So all I have to do now is to combine these pictures. And to actually combine these 2 pictures, I will use pixel mass. And obviously, the exact functionality of pixel mass is too complex now for this tutorial, but I will cover that in a specific one. I label this here as B for blue, and I label this here as G for green. And then I have here the formula in pixel mass, G divided by 2 plus B divided by 2, so that we get a whole again. I throw the triangle on the G, and you might have seen that very subtle, it changed. So this is now not green anymore. I have to change this now. This is now O3. And actually, the blue, we don't need anymore. So now I have HA and I have O3. Now you might wonder, how do I actually get to S2? And I don't, because presently I only have this one dual narrowband filter, which only collects HA and O3. But I soon will have a narrowband filter which also gathers the S2. And if you want to know all about this very new filter, please have a look at the video I did about it. But at the moment, as so many people, we have to deal with HA and O3. So what do we do now with them? We will stretch them now individually to our liking. In the interest of time, I did now the stretching. So that's how they look now stretched. And you see now very nicely how different features actually the HA and the O3 have. For example, in this region, it's very, very well visible. Now, once we have stretched it, we go to the channel combination. And this process is as straightforward and as easy as the extraction, even easier. There are even less features. So the only thing you can choose again is the color space. We leave this by RGB. Now, there are two ways how you can fill this in. Either you can now take the HA here and drag and drop it into the one you want. Obviously, HA is red usually. Or you can actually click here on the icon and then select it here in a pull down. Here we take now the O3, given that we don't have any sulfur. And for the O3, or for the blue, we also take the O3. And that's the famous HOO method. So we replace the sulfur by O3. Once we have done that, we can click here the global button, we wait, and we get that. And I don't know how much you like this. I don't really like it. Nobody, I think, would like it. The issue is the blue is really too much. So the channel combination is really primitive. So then the question is there a better way? And there is. And I will just show you that now briefly, and we will come back to that in a separate tutorial. And that's the LRGB combination. I would, as so many times before, assume that this is a newer process than the channel combination, because it does so much more. So let's look now at this one, and let's see if with the LRGB combination we get to something more sensible than this here, which is obviously trash. So we leave the luminance now away, we don't need that. We again use the HA for red, the O3 for green, and the O3 for blue. So until now everything is the same. But there are two massive differences now. First of all, we have a chrominance noise reduction. We activate that. Can definitely not be bad. And here we have channel weights. And that's the big difference. So now we have seen that it was way too bluish, greenish. What are we doing? We just go down with the green and we go down with the blue. And it's very easy now. We can simply try it out. And look at that. That looks a million times better than what we had before. Just if you really want to see the difference again, I think we don't have to discuss, right? So let me sum that up. When it comes to extracting the different colors from a picture, the channel extraction is the way to go. There's nothing better. So that's fine. Leave everything as it is and just execute it, and you call it channel split it. When it comes to the combination, the channel combination is a very primitive tool. And usually it's the better way to go with the LRGB combination process. With that, we're at the end of our tutorial. I hope that was helpful. If it was, please give me a like and hit the subscribe button. See you next time, and clear skies.